These 18 verses represent 4 streams of yoga. Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. Jnana Yoga deals with the intellect. Using the intellect and the power of analysis, you go to the very foundation, very source from where the thoughts arise, from where the intellect arises, from where intellect, the discrimination power itself emerges. In the path of bhakti, we purify the emotions and go to the very source from where the emotions arise within us. In the path of Raja Yoga, we use the mind, the power of willpower. Use the will power to shape the mind, mild the mind, focus the mind, defocus the mind, and go to the very source from where the thoughts arise. Karma Yoga is very special. You develop the proper attitude and learn how to perform the actions in the right way, and thereby can reach the moksha itself. In our ancient tradition, in Parampara, Prachina Parampara, yoga was designated only to the Patanjali Yoga, one of the Shat Darshanas. But later Swami Vivekananda broadened the perspective of yoga based on the meaning of yoga. Yujyate anena iti yoga. Yoga is to join, yoga is to expand small into personality. We are expanding to all pervasive total personality, raising from animal level to become normal, great, super and divine human being. Therefore he said, whether it is jnana, bhakti or karma, all are yogas and their purpose is to reach the highest divinity. Therefore he brought a new dimension, added a new dimension to the parampara, saying that all these are yoga. Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga. That's how the 4 streams have evolved. And with the total understanding that all these 4 paths lead to the same goal. Absolute freedom. Freedom from all diseases, miseries, tensions, stresses, bondages. That is the moksha, which is the goal. That's the goal of human life. And what is that moksha? Not only we have notion moksha is somewhere there in the heavens, and when we die we are going to go there and travel there and read that moksha. Absolutely wrong. Moksha is a state which is here, which is everywhere. And it was in the past, it is in the present, it is going to be in the future. It has no birth, it has no death. It is all pervasive, omnipresent, omniscient, and all powerful. What is its relation to us? We all have our home here. That's our real home. That's our real source. Therefore, it has very intimate and basic connection with us. Therefore, the Upanishads tell us that we have forgotten our real home, therefore we are suffering. A state of no bondage, a state of no misery, a state of no tension, a state of no diseases. That is our real home. Why have you forgotten that? You have such a big gold mine within you and you are searching for 10 paisa outside. So what is the goal of all streams of yoga? To reach that ultimate merger. Karma Yoga is very special. In Karma Yoga, you don't have to invest special time for its performance, whereas all other streams of yoga need. In Karma Yoga, you have to change the way of doing the work. So, last 3 days we have been trying to understand this Karma Yoga. I'll just briefly summarize what we have done and take it to the next step. To understand ourselves is the first step. Shri Krishna says, that understand that every action we do has got an inner personality trait which propels this action. If you become very angry and upset, it is because of the rajas inside. If you are greedy, if you are arrogant, if you are egoistic, if you hate others, if you are jealous, it's all the rajas which is manifesting outside. If you are feeling very sleepy, drowsy, you don't want to work, you don't want to think, you don't want to continue your studies, and you want to just sleep off, you don't want to do any work, then understand that tamas is predominant in you. If you have a tendency to do good for the others, help others, serve others, love others, and work for the country, work for the nation, work for the whole universe, and work for your family, friends, and always take care of them much more than what you take care of yourself, then your sattva is predominant in you. So, by looking at how we do the action, we can get at the personality trait with which we are made. So, if you want to know quantitatively how much of sattva, how much of rajas, how much tamas you have, we have got an instrument. If you use that instrument, you will be able to make out. That's called the guna inventory. The guna inventory is a well documented, well established psychological tool which can measure. Just like we have tools to measure how much of vata, pitta, kapha we have, the three humors. Similarly, we have the guna inventory. So all of us should fill up that and know ourselves. Having understood to what category I belong, the next step is to move from tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva. How to remove tamas within us? He says, use the rajas to shatter the tamas. Use the sattva to control the rajas, he said. So how? Here's a great example of Kumbhakarna in Ramayana. He was sleeping and sleeping, embodiment of tamas. 9 months, 10 months, he is asleep. Nobody can wake him up. Time has come that he has to be woken up. Ravana has ordered, come on, wake him up. Now he has to come for the war. Then, how did they do? They tried all mechanical means to pull him out. He was so strong, so hefty, so heavy. Even the elephants could not pull him out. And what did they do? They brought his very fond dishes, all steaming hot, and they kept around it, and then it started entering into his nose, and Kumbhakarna, wow, he got up. That is the power of rajas, that is the power of calm, that is the power of our indriyas. Use the indriyas and their objects to shatter the tamas. Similarly, we have the desire, acquire more money, more money. A very lazy person is there. You tell that I am going to give you 20 rupees if you do this work. Immediately you will come. For children, what do we do? You show milk chocolate. Come on, I will give you milk chocolate. All mothers know. These are all incentive systems. This all to use the rajas to shatter the tamas. But once the rajas comes up, how to control? Use the sattva. How to do that? The religions preach. Do good activities. Every day, 5 good works you have to do consciously. What good work? Okay, give some money to a person who is in need. Give some food to others. Or give some clothes. Or you give a fruit, a flower, a leaf, or a cup of water. Giving, giving, giving. Speak a nice word, a word of appreciation. And finding out the positive virtue, you just talk about it. Give a good smile if nothing else. And go on doing it. At least 5 good works in a day, you will find the transformation starts. Giving and giving and giving. Sharing with others. Love, affection, peace, harmony, magnanimity, self-control. All these things help us to grow. This is how we use the sattva to control and channelize the rajas. towards the higher. So this is the first phase in Karma Yoga. Consciously we must do that. कर्म योग का पहला स्तर है अपने अंदर के गुण को पहचानना है, तमस रजस और सत्व। किस ढंग से हम काम करते हैं उसको देखते हुए अपने अंदर के व्यक्तित्व विशेष को देख सकते हैं। यदि आलसीपन ज्यादा है समझो तुम्हारे अंदर तमस ज्यादा है। यदि बहुत लालचीपन हो रहा है और बहुत क्रोध आ रहा है, नाराज हो रहे हैं और काम क्रोध लोभ मोह मद बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है आपके अंदर, समझो अंदर रजस बहुत ज्यादा है। यदि दूसरों को देना और प्यार करना और उसके लिए सब कुछ त्याग करना है, ऐसा यदि आप देख रहे हैं आपके विशेष में, सोचो तुम्हारे अंदर सत्व है। कितना है उसको मापन भी कर सकते हैं। हमारे ऐसा इच्छा एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट भी है, उसको उपयोग करते हुए अपने आप को समझ लेते हैं। तो समझने के बाद क्या करना, अपने तमस को कम करना, रजस को नियंत्रण करना, सत्व को डेवलप करना। कैसा करना, बोलते हैं कि तमस को निकालने के लिए रजस का उपयोग करो। बच्चों को हम मिल्क चॉकलेट दे देंगे, बोलते हैं ना बच्चे हमारे साथ आ जाते हैं। इसी ढंग से हम भी बच्चे हैं तमस में, वो बच्चों को निकालने के लिए क्या करना, कुछ पैसा देना, मिल्क चॉकलेट देना या गुलाब जामुन देना या कुछ पार्टी देना, कुछ देते जाना। उससे क्या होता है, अंदर का तमस निकल जाता है। परंतु रजस को कैसा नियंत्रण करना, रोज 5 अच्छे कर्म करना। कैसा, यदि आपके पास पैसा है किसी को देना है, बहुत गरीब आदमी है दे दो, कुछ आपका अंदर के कपड़े हैं उसको दे सकते हैं, नहीं तो खाना दे सकते हैं, कुछ भी नहीं तुम्हारा एक फल दे दो, एक पत्ता दे दो, फूल दे दो या पानी दे दो, कुछ ना कुछ देते जाना, देते जाना। तो उसके साथ साथ और भी क्या कर सकते हैं, दूसरे का अच्छा गुण को हम अंदर से देखते हुए उसको बताना है, उसको अप्रिशिएट करना है। कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा है, क्या करना, कम से कम मुस्कान रखो, मुस्कान से लोगों को अच्छा करो। इस तरह से यदि सत्वगुण को हम बढ़ाते जाएंगे तो रजस अपने आप नियंत्रण में आ जाता है। सेवा भाव, ये सब सत्वगुण का विशेष है। तो उसके बाद क्या, भगवान बोलता है ये अंतिम नहीं है, ये तीनों भी बंधन है। All the three are still bondages. Krishna says you have to overcome and then transcend the gunas. Tamas is the iron bangle, Rajas is the silver bangle, and Sattva is the golden bangle. They are all born traits, hereditary components. The karma coming up, you have to consciously overcome them and transcend the gunas. Why? There are special conflicts that start coming up in your life. Region of conflicts. Conflict between one good action and another good action. Conflict between one duty and another duty. Conflict between one duty and then ethical norm. Questioning the very basis of duty, ethics and this life itself. When such conflicts arise, you are torn apart. Even the best of the people get torn apart. Kim karma, kim akarma, ityatra kavayaha api mohitaha bhavanti. Tatte karma pravaksham yajñātvā mukṣase ashubhat. बताया कृष्ण भगवान ने। So how to do that? There is no grantha, no scripture, no book in the entire world which can resolve such very subtle conflicts. It is only here in Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad you have that solution. To move up the ladder from guna to gunathita sthiti. And types of conflicts you could see, ethics versus ethics, duty versus duty, duty versus ethics, why ethics, why duty, and the meaning of life. This all help us to move to the higher dimensions. And what is the first secret? The secret which we saw yesterday is we have to understand the karma, vikarma and akarma. All the three have to understand. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam vikarmanaha akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. What is good action? what is bad action, what is good action, what is super good action. You must understand. That alone will not do. Krishna says, you must understand what is non-action, what is akarma. In our life, both akarma and karma are knit together. Almost 50% of our time is spent in non-action, sleeping. If we take from right childhood, born until we die, there's always 50% akarma, roughly. So it is very rejuvenating, it's refreshing. In the night, if you have a good sleep, how wonderful you are there in the morning. Understand? On the other hand, if you don't get good sleep, what is going to be, how miserable will be your condition. Therefore, don't neglect relaxation, don't neglect rest, don't neglect sleep, don't neglect akarma. Akarma gives rest, it is a charging of the batteries. We have to give prominence and balance the two things. The stresses that you develop through karma should be completely balanced by the rest that you give through sleep or other process of relaxation. If you don't do that, karma is going to burn you out. That's the first thing he says. Second, yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samattai yoga uchyate. Attune to yourself. Do all your action totally unattached. Sangam tyaktva. You have to come out of the attachments that you have. Work unattached. Not detached from the work itself. You must work, but work detached. How is it possible? If you put water into milk, Ramkrishna Paramahamsa says, it will get mixed. Same milk you convert into curds, churn it into butter, put the butter into water. It will not. Similarly, we have to churn ourselves to become butter and enter into the ocean of light. This is the process of detachment. For that, what you have to do, you have to churn yourself, purify yourself, and attune to yourself, do the action. What is the result? Siddhya siddhyoho samaha bhutva samatvam yoga vichyate. Success or failure, you become objective and equanimous. That the thing he says. And this has to be done with a complete understanding. Buddhi yukto jahatiha Ubhe sukruta dushkrute Tasmad yogaya yujyasva Yoga karma sukaushalam. What is that secret? Attune to yourself. Karma sukaushalam. This is a very special way of doing action. It's a very special skill in doing the action. What is that very skill? Do all work without getting tensed up, without getting burnt up, without getting stressed up. How to do that? Do it in relaxation. How to do that in relaxation? You must have the awareness when you do the action. And you know, the famous dancing girl of Kerala, putting the pot on the head and dancing to the tune of music. She is going very briskly, going down all the things she is doing, bending the body. But all the time, where is her attention? Maintaining the center of gravity. Even if she changes a little bit, the pot is going to fall. Similarly, when we are doing our action, all our attention should be always to attune to the self, attune to that inner purity, inner silence, attune to our original home. Don't forget your home. All the time remembering that home, do the action, he's telling. And Mahatma Gandhi is a great karma yogi. Every day, there used to be hundreds and thousands of problems that used to haunt him. The karma would burn him out, almost. And whole day, 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, he is working. And continuously problems from all fronts, of all types are coming up, during the national freedom movement. You could imagine. But how was he able to maintain his inner poise? Charaka. Every day he is working on the charaka for 1 hour. And he used it as a tool. And told all people should do work on the charaka. You should bring about the thread out of that. And then by that you have the kapla. Baji came one day he saw Bapu was working on the charaka. He just stood there. After about 20 minutes, when Bapuji completes, and looks at, oh, Vinobaji, how is it you have come at this early hour? There should be some immediate problem. Tell me what is happening. Vinoba says, wait, let the problem wait. I have got a very important thing I want to ask you. You see, you also work on charaka, I also work on the charaka. But the charaka wheel that we use is a very old charaka, dilapidated charaka. Whereas I have taken the most modern and well-developed charaka I have. And you also use cotton, I also use cotton. And you take all types of cotton, raddi, all types of cotton you take. Whereas I pick and choose cotton for my this thing. In spite of that, when I work on the charaka, the thread goes on coming, but it cuts several times, it gets cut. Whereas in your hand, I have never seen the thread getting cut at all. What is that secret? You say. And very significantly, Bapu says, please understand, when the thread gets cut, it is not the thread that is getting cut, it is the awareness that is getting lost. No? It is the awareness that is getting cut. You have to maintain awareness throughout. So 1 hour of my working on the charaka is not just for producing the cotton, it is incidental, but important thing is to maintain my awareness, blissful awareness and effortless, relaxed awareness I have to maintain. This is the dhyana for me, this is the meditation for me, meditation in action, action in relaxation. That is what Karma Yoga is about. Therefore, we must all the time be in tune with that inner awareness. Whatever work you are doing does not matter. You are a computer specialist, you are a professor, you are an accounting specialist, you are a chapati maker. Whatever work you do doesn't matter at all. How you do the action is most important. Do all good action, but with an inner awareness of that inner joy, inner bliss, inner effortlessness, inner relaxation. That is called key action. Yogastaha kuru karmani. Karmani kuru. Do the action, whatever karma you do. But how to do that? Yogastaha sankuru. That means attune to that self. What is that attune to self? All the time you must remember your home. Remembering the home, do the activities. Remember the sweetest home, you do the activities. That home of all of us is so infinite bliss, so much of inner power, inner knowledge, inner bliss. Go on remembering that again and again. That is the whole essence. The difference between a novice driver and a master driver. What is the difference? A novice driver is coming very fast. He is trying to overtake others and reach his destination. He is going 70, 80, 90, 100 miles an hour. Then he sees a red light coming there. But he is so novice that he thinks that by the time I go to the red, it is going to turn green. I am going to pass off. But as he reaches the red light, it is not turning green, and there is a police inspector trying to catch him. What he does, he jams his brake. The whole car comes to a grinding halt. Everybody in the car shaken up. Maybe somebody gets a spondylosis or a slip disc. What does the master driver do? He is also going very fast, 100 kilometers, 100 miles an hour, and he sees the red, and he starts decelerating. 80, 60, 40, 20 comes to a smooth halt. As the red turns green, he again accelerates and goes. This is the difference. Inside, a complete awareness. Inside, a complete objectivity. And do your action. That's a master driver. We should all become master drivers. We should all work like Mahatma Gandhi. Any action we are doing, everything should be full of inner awareness. अंदर बहुत आनंद स्थिति में रहते हुए काम करना, बहुत रिलैक्स होकर काम करना. जो भी काम कीजिए कोई बात नहीं. पैदल चल रहे हैं, बातचीत कर रहे हैं, कंप्यूटर के काम कर रहे हैं और लेक्चर दे रहे हैं, या अपने किचन में चपाती कर रहे हैं, या रसोई के घर में हैं और कुछ लिख रहे हैं, एग्जाम में बैठे हैं. जो भी काम कीजिए कोई बात नहीं. सब काम में क्या करना? अंदर शांत स्थिति, अंदर महामौन स्थिति, अंदर बहुत आनंद स्थिति, इसको करना है. इसलिए कन्नड़ा में बहुत सुंदर एक गीत है. उसको मंकुति मन का ऐसा बताया जाता है। उसमें क्या बताया, वो बोलते हैं मन का 2 स्तर है। हम सब लोग जानते हैं 2 स्तर को। अंदर के स्तर को शांत रखना, बाहर जो भी काम कीजिए कोई बात नहीं। 2 ಕೋಣೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡು ಮನದಾಲಯದಿ ವಿರಮಿಸೊಬ್ಬನೆ ಮೌನದೊಳಮನೆಯ ಶಾಂತಿಯಲಿ ಹೊರ ಕೋಣೆಯಲಿ ಲೋಗರಾಟಗಳ ನೀನಾಡು ವರಯೋಗ ಸೂತ್ರವಿದು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. So this is wonderful thing. अंदर क्या करना, शांत रहना। मन के सूक्ष्माति सूक्ष्म स्तर पर अंदर शांत रहना। बाहर के स्थूल रूप में जो भी काम करना करते जाओ, कोई बात नहीं, ये बोल रहा है। यही कर्मयोग का विशेष है। तो मन के 2 स्थिति हम सब जानते हैं। इधर बैठे हैं, कुछ सुन रहे हैं, परंतु बहुत गहराई ढंग मन के गहराई स्तर पर मन और कुछ चिंतन में लगे हुए। घर में क्या हो रहा है, माता जी को क्या हो रहा है, पिताजी को वो हॉस्पिटल में लगा दिए थे ना, क्या हो रहा है उसका, वो ठीक होगा नहीं होगा, अंदर चल रहा है। बाहर इधर सुन रहे हैं, बैठने मेडिटेशन के बैठने के लिए भी बैठे हैं, चुप करने का कर रहे हैं उससे, परंतु अंदर क्या हो रहा है, अग्नि पर्वत है अंदर। सो अग्नि पर्वत को अंदर शांत करना है। काम क्रोध लोभ मोह मद मात्सर्य का अग्नि पर्वत जो है अंदर, उसको हम शांत करना है। अंदर के रावण को हम पूरा से पूरा नियंत्रण में लाना है और शांत करना अंदर। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि हमारा अंदर व्यक्तित्व जैसा है वैसा बाहर होता है। इसलिए अंदर व्यक्तित्व को परिपूर्ण रूप से अंदर शुद्ध करना है, साफ करना है। इसलिए हमें प्रज्ञारण्य जी ने बताया आत्म परिशोधना शिविर करना है। आत्म परिशोधना शिविर में अंदर के ये जो कषाय है, मल है, उसको साफ करना पड़ेगा। तो बाहर जो भी कीजिए कोई बात नहीं, अच्छे काम तो कर रहे हैं, परंतु बिना तनाव करना है। इसलिए जो भी काम करेंगे उसको बिना तनाव करना है। एग्जाम में बैठे हैं, तनाव होने का संभव ज्यादा है, नर्वसनेस हो जाता है, एक्सीडेंट एंग्जाइटी हो जाता है। नहीं 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 बोलना, अंदर मैं अंदर से शांत रहूंगा और बाहर काम करूंगा। थोड़ा सोचेंगे, ध्यान करेंगे, बैठिए सीधा, आंख बंद करके। Sit straight with the eyes closed. Relax all parts of the body. Beautiful smile on the face. Recognize what trait we have inside. Tamas, Rajas, Sattva, which is predominant. Can we make a resolve from today? I am going to shatter my tamas, promote and control my rajas and develop my sattva wonderfully by doing good actions. अपने अंदर के गुण को हम पहचानेंगे और एक ऐसा संकल्प करेंगे कि तमस को हटाऊंगा और रजस को नियंत्रण में लाऊंगी और अंदर के राम भगवान को जागृत करके सत्वगुण संपन्नता को ज्यादा बढ़ाऊंगा। ऐसा एक संकल्प करेंगे। रोज 5 अच्छा काम डायरी में लिखना है, रोज रात को। आगे जाकर अंदर के शांत स्थिति जो है, अकर्म स्थिति जो है, नैष्कर्म स्थिति, उसके साथ जोड़कर काम करने का विशेष विधि को हमको समझना पड़ेगा। मन के गहराई स्तर पर जाइए, शांत रहेंगे। अंदर अंदर जाइए, go deep inside and cleanse your being. Be calm and quiet and silent in the deeper layers of the mind, inner layers of the mind. Outside, Whatever comes, let it go on. Let us maintain that equipoise, inner bliss, and spread the fragrance of that bliss through all our good activities throughout the day today. Namaskar Mudra.